Greetings, hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to DevChatter. My name is Brendan. This channel here is DevChatter, and today, it's a pretty nice Saturday where I am. Fairly warm. We are, right in the middle of June, so it's the 22nd, I think. Should be a good stream today. Hey, greetings, welcome everyone. Everyone hanging out in chat. We're going to go ahead and get started today. I want to give a brief little intro to let people know a little bit about the stream and give time for anyone that is showing up still to get here. So, hello, welcome. My name is Brendan. I am the host of DevChatter, and on this channel we like to do a reasonable amount of live coding. We're a very friendly and welcoming environment, so I hope that everyone here is looking forward to writing some code and chatting about it. The project that we are working on today, which is just one of a few projects that we work on, and for anyone that is wondering, we will get back to some of those other ones. But the project we are working on today is an application, this one right here, that you would run at the same time as you are playing Final Fantasy VII. And that is this application right here. Final Fantasy VII is a video game that came out in 1997 for the PlayStation, and it is a well-respected game that is actually getting a remake done by the company that made it 22 years ago, sort of the company. Mergers and other things like that. So, slight differences, but the people that made this one 22 years ago, some of them are still involved in the creation of this new project, and then a lot of the other people that are building that one are fans of it from, 22 years ago. Anyway, so there's been a bit of hype around this game lately, but the funny thing about it is that it was actually still relatively popular in places like Twitch, where there are people that stream it. In fact, in addition just to streamers of this game, there is a significant modding community centered around improving this game. With advances in AI and things like that, people have actually managed to update the backgrounds in this game. So let me show you. We're running a default version that's just designed to be run on PC, a modern PC, so some of the polygons are smoothed out and the characters don't look like they would have back in the 90s, but these backgrounds, you'll notice, are still like really pixelated. They're really fuzzy because you can actually see a lot of these little squares everywhere where, my computer is using a lot of pixels for every little block in there. So people are actually using AI to upscale these so you can use the original pre-rendered backgrounds and just have them look a little bit nicer. In addition to that, there are communities that are upgrading the models. So this character that we've got here, notice he just has like little block hands and everything. So the original game didn't have, a lot of polygon support. So obviously they couldn't really do all that much with these models. And even the textures aren't really all that great in the original version. That's obviously, remember, this was running on a PlayStation back then, so this game came out on 3 CDs. So yes, if you remember what CDs are, they, came before the DVDs, and if you don't know what DVDs are, those came before Blu-rays. And if you don't know what any of those are, well, back before we just used to transfer digital media around everywhere, we actually stored stuff on these optical discs. I know, it's totally crazy. We'd have like lasers read these things. So weird. Anyway, so there's actually a significant community around this stuff. And hey, we are developers here, so we figured why not do some cool stuff with it as well. Coding Rule, you mean those little square things with the 2 holes in them? Yeah, square things with the 2 holes. Square things with the 2 holes? Rectangles with 2 holes? You talking about VHS or square things? 2 holes? Square things with 2 holes? It's a square thing with 2 holes. Oh, cassette tapes. Yeah. That's a rectangle with 2 holes. Come on, Coding Gorilla. Hey, Average Guy, and welcome, Facu Rodriguez, Coding Gorilla, and Average Guy, and anyone else that's in chat just lurking around. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, you confused me. I was like, a square with 2 holes. I thought you meant like like an old floppy disk, and I was trying to think if there was ever a version of a floppy disk that had 2 holes in it, and I was like, I don't remember one. Evening, Coated Beard. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so here's what we're doing related to this game, because it's kind of cool. And through this project that we're working on, you can actually learn a heck of a lot about how these old games actually worked, without actually needing to get into like the super complicated stuff. So if that sounds scary, don't worry, we're not digging into assembly language, we're not doing anything crazy like that. We're dealing with memory as it would be managed by applications. So this would be similar stuff to what we do in our programs, except we're actually going to have to examine what's going on. So this is going to be a little bit of, you know, like lift the veil and actually see what's happening in the game. So first off, I do have this running. It says connected here, so chat does actually have some control over this game right now, because my program over here, that's this one here, is actually connected into Twitch chat, so that's what we're building, and I will show you what happens if we type in red, blue, green, and orange, for example. No assembly on a C# stream? Yeah, exactly, Miha. So, you'll notice I typed that in chat, you know, colors change here on the screen. So, the first thing that we built was this. This gave us color control over the menus. So, people can, in chat, just go ahead and do that. So feel free to try it out if you haven't been on one of our streams where we did this before. If you have, feel free to try it out some more if you like. In addition to, yeah, so as Element IQ just put in there, you can just do a single color, or you can do 4 colors like what I did, or you can do a named palette like what Suna did right there. So if you know a named palette, you can actually put that one on as well. In addition, you can actually use full hex codes in addition to using named colors. So, good job, Average Guy, knowing that Brendan was another one of those. Very few people in here know what the other ones are. I think there are not many. I think I've only got 4 palettes in there right now, but we're intending to make that a customizable thing for people. Anyway, I do want to show people this feature, which is the fact that you can actually control menu color not just using the names, but you can use full hex codes as well. And you can actually, with hex codes, you can do the 4 values also. So it's 4 colors or 1 color. Either way works fine. Yeah, isn't that cool, Alkalide? I think a lot of people would find this really interesting, especially if you're, say, watching a Final Fantasy VII speedrun, to be able to control the menu colors and things like that. Oh yeah, and Mihan knows that there's a random one. So in random, it actually just randomly assigns RGB values to each corner, and you get what you get. So, could be cool, could be terrible, who knows? Okay, I want to show you all the feature that we were working on last time. Wait, what? That is hilarious. Congratulations, Strife. You didn't actually have to do the 98, though it does work with the 98. You actually just need to type, the named palette is actually just Strife. But I made both work. Okay, so here's what we got. You'll notice in here that I have a nail bat, a Gatling gun, a bronze bangle, and a silver armlet. So these all are items that they are, well, weapons and armor for our characters. So if we take a look at the current equipment of our characters, we take a look at Cloud. Cloud has a mithril saber equipped right now. Yep, exactly, Strife. That is kind of weird that it has a problem with that. I wonder what the deal is with Twitch not liking your name. But anyway, I want to. Oh, hang on, someone's trying. Oh, that's too many colors. You don't include the alpha in their element IQ. Too many values in your hex code. Yep, just 6 digits. Because this menu doesn't support alpha, so I don't bother supporting it either. So, I mean, I guess I technically could and we'd ignore it, but it just seems silly to bother with it. Anyway, here's what I want to show you all. So if I say weapon Cloud 3, you'll see that Cloud no longer has the mithril. He now has a butterfly. And if you look, our mithril saber has been put here in the inventory. So that's the cool thing that we do. We now have a mithril saber in our inventory. When we were looking at the equipment before, there was no mithril saber down here. There was no butterfly edge down here. So what's cool about that is that made it so that when I use that command in chat, if you didn't see it, I typed in !weapon Cloud 3. Now, don't worry about the fact that I'm using numbers of like 1, 2, 3. We were probably going to support names at some point, or have a nice help page that lists all the available weapons and things like that. Ooh, that is a really, really strange color there, Alkalide. I mean, it works fine, but it's, yeah. Anyway, so that's the cool thing, is what it does is it actually puts that item in there. Now, I want to show you something else. So let's take a look. So Cloud right now has the butterfly edge equipped. If I type, hang on, Miha's changing the colors on us. If I say weapon Cloud 3 again, it just says, hey, Cloud already has the butterfly edge equipped and it won't do it. So we put in little protections against that, and I'm going to show you how we did it. So keep in mind also that this mithril saber dropped to the bottom of the list. If I do a weapon 2 and a, weapon Cloud 2, okay, so you'll notice the butterfly edge appears on the bottom of this list. And for anyone that is wondering, if you have ever actually dealt with memory in a program before, you would know that if you are, sorry, I should say contiguous sets of memory. So think arrays in C#, or a list in C#, for example. Either one of those are examples of contiguous blocks of memory that are storing objects. The way that this item list works here is there are actually there is an array that contains the data for what goes in here. And you might be thinking, well, it's easy, you just keep track of what the last item is. Now, here's the challenge. I can't keep track of that, where that last space is. So, for example, if someone leaves this big gap to the butterfly edge right there, and then says weapon Cloud 7, for example, you'll notice the hard edge appears right here, always in the first available slot. Now, the problem is because that can change in ways outside of our control, and I couldn't find an index that was tracked for where the first empty slot is in this program, I figured it out on my own. So let's take a look at what we built for that. So I did a scan memory method. So scan memory does a couple of things. So first off, I'm going to explain what this does, and then we're going to start working on some more related things. So scan memory goes through and it finds the first item that matches the isMatch function. So essentially what you do is you tell it, search in this process name, starting at this address, and then I want you to, check items of this size, and this is the capacity of the array. So essentially this is for scanning an array. So the array, if it has 100 items in it, you'd set this value to 100, and if each item was 4 bytes, you would set this to 4. What all is, wait, hang on. Cloud weapon random. No, element. We don't have random for weapon. And average guy, let's take a look at what color you gave us. Oh man, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's a little unique, but no, not a bad color palette. Okay. So here's how we do it. If we take a look at this code, when we scan memory, we go in and we connect to the process. So we find the process, assuming that it exists. If it doesn't, we obviously just abandon out. If that process isn't running on your computer, we're like, nope, not messing with memory, not going to try anything. Oh, sorry, average guy. If you want to make it horrible, just make it lime. Seriously, just lime is good enough to make it horrible. Once we found that process, we're going to tell it to open it up for reading capabilities, because when we're scanning, you just read it. Then down here, I keep track of the offset. So the offset is essentially how far into the array we are. How many items deep are we? So this is just keeping track of that, because what we do is, first off, we increment the offset in terms of bytes based on the item size. So again, if each item in your array is 4 bytes long, then the number's 4, and we're going to increment the spot we're looking in memory by 4 bytes each time. So we read data a byte at a time. When we start, we say, okay, let's update to the address that we currently need. Technically, I could put that code right in here or something, but I'm fine with it being there because I don't like overusing a for loop. So despite the fact that a for loop can be used and you can put logic in here that's not just some kind of an increment, I'm not going to do that because that's dangerous. Like, what we could have done is just done, like, you know, incrementing of the address here and made this an escape based on that or something. It'd be crazy. Anyway, I then have this buffer variable that we're just going to overwrite each time and throw away the memory. So because we lose the reference to it, our garbage collector will be running and we'll be getting rid of this stuff. In our read process memory here, this is a method that all it's going to do is go and just attempt to read the memory. So it is right here. This is actually imported from the kernel 32 DLL. So this is basically using like Windows, like a Windows DLL to read the memory of this program. So we're basically saying, hey, go ahead, read this process at this address, write the data into here. This is the size of the data you're supposed to be reading. And then this I'm ignoring right here. So this is called a discard. That's what it means when you make a variable name be literally just an underscore. And that tells C#, hey, I don't care about that value, just throw it away. So if you've never seen a discard before, this is a great example for how you do it. This would tell me how many bytes it read. I could technically check against this, but realistically, I'm not really going to. I told it to read 2. It is probably going to read 2 unless there's something like horribly wrong. Okay, next thing here. We then just say if it is a match, you know, for whatever the buffered data is. So this is an array of bytes. If it is, then go ahead and break us out of here. And we return back whatever the current offset is. We return back an object that contains both the current offset and the current value of the buffer. So the reason we break out is because we want to make sure that we get out of here with the offset still set to what its value is and the buffer still set. So since we broke the for loop, we do not execute this, so the offset doesn't increment and the buffer does not get reset. So we break out and then return those values. We check this right here, and I say if the offset is equal to the capacity, essentially. So what that would mean is that or equal to or greater than the capacity. That would mean that our for loop completed. And so then I could say, since the for loop completed, then we want to return back -1 as the offset and null as the object. So essentially our scan result returns back what index we found the thing and what we found. So it's looks for a thing and returns it back. How does incrementing int offset by byte size work? Oh, average guy. So the way that this works is so the offset is actually just an integer, and the item size realistically is going to be like 1, 2, or 4 depending on what we're scanning. So I just needed a thing that would scan for memory and find the first instance. So there are 2 main cases where I do this, and I will show you what they are. So let's take a look at where these get called. In the inventory accessor is going to be the best example of this. So right here. So I built a yeah, so if I was gonna say, if people want to build cool stuff with this, that's totally fine. If you want to build versions of this, go right ahead. Okay, so right here, I'm calling scan memory, and I'm passing in as the check. So this is my what did I call it? Call it something. The isMatch. So essentially this is how I check to see whether or not something is a match, so whether it's the one we're looking for. So I used isItem in this one, so this is looking for a specific item. This one is looking for an empty row. So essentially this is, I'm supposed to add an item, and actually, you know what, I'll just show all of you this. Hey Wicked Blue Ninja, welcome. So let's bring this up. Okay, I have... I don't have any potions. Okay, so we are arranged for battle. Let's do this. Oops, not that one. I want to do this. Item 0. So, item potion added. Let me arrange for battle again. So there is our potion record. So if I do item 0 again, it will add a potion. Notice it incremented that to 2. So if I say item 0 again, it will increment to 3. So these item commands that I put in there are mostly just for, showing and giving an example here. Obviously, we could add items that way, and maybe we will do stuff like that. But more interesting is just to show, to test out some of our code for modifying the inventory. So in order to add a potion, it has to find where the potion record is and then fill it in. What I don't have right now, if you look, is I do not have what's called a high potion, which is another item that my character could have. I have an X potion, and I have a potion, but I don't have high potion. So let's add item 1, which I think is a high potion. It is. And if you look down at the bottom, now we have a high potion at the bottom. So it found that record and added in one of those. If I item 1 again, it will increment that number. If I do item 2, it will have added to my X potion, which was the first one. Item, I don't know, 24. What's item 24? Kiss of Death, apparently. So there's another item that gets added. So it's finding where that last space is and filling it in. Let's look at how that actually works when we run it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a breakpoint there, and we'll do item 25, which I don't know what it's going to be. So we're going to try to find item 25. It's going to scan memory, and it's going to come back with a result of -1. And the reason it did that is it checked all the slots in our inventory, and it said, nope, none of these are item 25. So what it has to do is we then say, oh, this time search for an empty record. So now it scans and returns back the first empty record, and if we take a look at this scan result, it found the base address offset of 28, and the bytes at that location are 255, 255. So basically all ones is how it represents an empty slot in the inventory. So that's actually what it is doing there. Also, it is hilarious that Miha tried to do item -1. First off, Miha, you'll notice that I'm using a U short here for the item ID, so negatives aren't going to do anything, because that's an unsigned value. And second, I believe that I'm actually parsing that as an unsigned values. All ones for an empty slot is an odd design choice. Why did they do that? S&B, So I don't know why they did all ones instead of all zeros, but they did, and they do that all over the place, and it's actually kind of annoying. In fact, zeros are sometimes a valid result. Notice that the potion that I put in is item 0. So, yeah, that's right, it's item 0. So if you have, like, it's quantity 1, and 0 is the ID, and you're just like, wait, what? Okay. So then it adds it in, and then it runs. So that's how so it added a spiderweb, apparently. So spiderweb got added. So that's what it did. It said, hey, is there already one there? If there had been one there, so for example, I'll do that one again, and the breakpoint's still there. So I did item 25. So this time, the scan result, the initial one, where it was looking for item 25, found it at base address 28, which you'll remember from the last time we executed this is where it stopped. And so this, when it comes in here, we said, allow increment, and it is. So it's going to take the bytes, put them in an inventory slot object, which is an object we created. I'll show you that in a second. Increases the quantity by 1, and then writes that back into the inventory at that location. So when we do that, that adds another spiderweb. So there is our second spiderweb. Let me show you real fast how that inventory slot works, because it is a pain in the rear. I was originally doing this with like bit masks and bit shifting and other stuff like that, but the problem is my brain kept getting in the way because of the fact that we all think in big endian. That's how we like write binary, but the system obviously is not in that. And so because of the fact that this is using like well, I'll say it has strange ways of handling memory that are not super strange if you're in an unmanaged language, but C# being what it is not as good at dealing with memory as, say, like C++ is, for example, or C. So I sort of just put it together the way that it is instead of like handling it in like the way that it should be. So basically what I did is I have a couple of shorts that I hang on to. I have an item ID and a quantity. Now what's weird about this, and I'll explain, is that item ID is actually stored in the system as 9 bits and quantity is stored as 7 bits. So yeah. S&B, I probably could use span in some way for it, yes, but I didn't keep the array. I think I mentioned when I posted this code somewhere that I had that this can get cleaned up, but I just wanted a working version, and it does work. So that's good enough for me for now, and we can work more on it later. Okay, so here is the deal with it. So if you create one, so that'd be like I create it. And I just make one, I just store these 2 values. And this is for our storage. When we do this code, this is what translates it from the way that we're storing it into the way that the game is storing it. So I need to create 2 bytes because an inventory slot is 2 bytes. Remember, it's 16 characters because 9 plus 7 is 16. So 2 bytes. And the way that we need to put those bytes together is as follows. Sorry, hang on. Did they do that to increase the number of items possible? Yes, average guy. So they have 319 items, which means they need 9 bits in order to actually have that number of IDs. It's just weird because then it's like because they didn't want to waste bits, I guess. So if they had done 24 bits for an inventory slot instead of 16, essentially just adding 8 bits of data, then this would be so much easier for us to deal with. However, they didn't do that. Okay, so here's what I do. I basically said, okay, the first bit, so the least significant bit of the quantity, and let me write that so that people can see it. So I'm going to write it in a couple of ways. So let's say that we have a single potion, right? So we'll say potion quantity, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is the way that you and I would write it. We would write it like that. So, hey, we're learning we're showing binary on stream. This is actually kind of fun. I don't get to do this very often. So we'll do potion ID, and potion ID, as we said, is 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there is the potion ID. Okay. Yes, that's true, S&B. Sometimes we do just waste, like, individual bits of data, but yes, they, yeah, every bit did count back then. I'm just commenting that, like, some of these are kind of like, wow, you needed, like, 1 extra bit, so you're like, whoa, that was painful. Anyway, so this is the way that, that we can think of these. So this would be 1, so we'll say equals 1, and this equals 0, right? We all get that. That's how it's stored. Okay, let's talk about the bytes for this data. So if we look at byte 0, byte 0 is going to be the ID, and then byte 1 is going to be the quantity. So byte 1 is actually going to look like this. It is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm not kidding. This is the way that it is stored in the system, which means that if you looked at these 2 bytes together, and so I'll just write that like this, the byte array, or actually just the binary. We'll just say binary. It is written as, so there's how it's written. Now, someone's going to look at this and wonder why. So if byte 1 is the quantity, and this is the ID, and I said up here that the quantity is 1, why did I set the quantity to, it's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Why did I set the quantity to 64? Because that's sure as heck what it looks like I did here. And the reason why is because this is little endian. So there's big endian and little endian, which means inside the processor, like in memory, in this computer, these are the ones bits. These first ones here, this is a 1, and this is a 1. This is a 2, and this is a 2. These are the 4s right here. These are the 8s. These are the 16s. So it actually starts from the left instead of from the right, despite the fact that we all think of it this way and put the least significant bits on the right. In the computer, it's not doing that. So if we just look at these bytes, here's the results that we get. Now keep in mind, it's already treating this as little endian, so it makes sense. From that side, it's going to see this not as 1, it's going to see this as 2, and this is 0. So what it looks like to us, if we just read these bytes, it's always going to look like the byte is doubled what it's supposed to be. So the quantity is always going to appear to be doubled, and that is just because that this bit is actually part of the ID. It is actually the most significant digit of the previous byte. Is kind of how you can think of it. So if we were to put in a different item, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do item 256. Chipley, welcome. Thanks for that follow. Much appreciated. So, oh, unknown item added. We apparently don't have that item's name in our system. Did it even add it? Oh, it must have been something like a bronze bangle or something like that, right? Was it bronze bangle? Item 256. I bet it was. Yeah. So I just don't have its name tied together. Yep, it was a bronze bangle. So, unexpected item in the inventory. Oh, that is awesome. Well done, S&B. You win the day. Welcome, Ed and friends. Greetings. Hopefully, Ed's Blazor stream was an interesting one. We're actually just discussing binary and endianness, which is not really the focus of our stream here. We are mostly a C# and .NET stream. We do a reasonable amount of JavaScript as well. Though today we are working on a .NET Core 3 application in WPF application that is designed to read and write the memory of other applications. And specifically, this one is reading and writing the memory of an FF7 game. So welcome, greetings, Ed and everyone that was over in Ed's stream today. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic Saturday so far, and that is absolutely correct. There is a raid on, which means we need our Chattosauruses out fighting. So anybody here that actually has those, feel free to toss some of those in chat. Greetings, Ed. How was your stream? I saw that you were live earlier because I don't know. I was looking at who was live. Thank you, Suna. Thank you, S&B. And now Ed can also spam Chattosauruses fighting in the chat room. That deserves some hype in there. Okay, so anyway, Ed, feel free to tell us about what you were working on, or awesome, Ed, appreciate it. And yes, so someone actually asked me recently how long I'd been streaming, and I responded I was like 14 months or something like that, and then I was like, oh no, wait a minute, no, I'm wrong, it's like 16 months. So I'm glad, one of the things I'm really excited about is all the people that have started streaming. So it is awesome, and I'm really glad you're streaming, and I love what you're doing. It's good stuff. I need to make it to more of your streams. The problem is it's usually tough for me, because like this one today, it's like, oh, I'm like prepping for my stream while you're streaming. So it's like, I don't really have time to like go there and watch the stream. So anyway, we were just talking about this and essentially the endianness of the computer and why this gets messed up. So what we had to do is make this little adjustment. So where is that code? Right here. So basically what I said is when we're reading that data from memory, I said take the first byte. Remember we said that the first one is for the item ID. And then, in addition to just using its value, we want to add in 256 if the second byte is an odd number. Now remember, I said that this is the ones bit, and this is the twos bit. So that's why this is a 2 here, is because the ones bit of this second byte actually belongs to the previous and is worth 256 in its array. So that's actually what we did. We just said, hey, if that's an odd number, just go ahead and assign that there. And then we just took the quantity and just divided by 2, figuring if it was an odd number, we don't care about, so like 5, for example, if the number was 5, that means the quantity is 2, and we also happen to have that 1 bit. And so when you do 5 divided by 2, with whole number math in a computer, we'll say integer math, and you just end up with this. So it's pretty nice. Okay, no worries. We're building a project for your conference. Oh, that's really cool, Ed. The project is a full stack app using Blazor, ML.NET, and Cosmos DB. That's awesome. It will be presented all over conferences here, starting at CodePalooza in Louisville. That's awesome, Ed. Sadly, I wasn't going to be able to make CodePalooza this year, so I did not submit any sessions to that one. But I really did enjoy it when I was there last year, so I'm hoping that I can make it out again next year for CodePalooza, which I'm assuming there's going to be another one, but we'll see how that goes. Schedules, they're not easy. Okay, so this is the item stuff. I want to do a fun command today using some of this cool stuff that we've figured out. So I kind of want to build a fun command. So let's do it. We're going to do something evil. Everyone ready to do something evil today? Let's see. Codepalooza is downtown Louisville this year, much better than... Yeah, I had heard that Chad was moving it to a better location, which sounds awesome. I'm assuming, you know, bigger, nicer, newer place, like a new convention center or something. I didn't look at where the location was, but there was a lot of comments that it was going to be a nice improvement. Okay, so let's build a command together. I have no changes. Good. Alrighty. Step 1, make new command. Here's what we're going to build. We're going to build an evil command for someone that wants to make their game really, really challenging. Nope, didn't mean to open that one. I meant to open up this one. Commands, class, popper, command. Okay. Popper command is going to implement base command, and we're going to implement that. Let's get rid of that constructor entirely, and this one, we're going to get rid of it mostly. Okay. There we go. X, new array of strings, popper. And then this one, I'm just going to enable the command. So basically what this does is, have a good one, Ed. Thanks for swinging by. Take care, and thank you for the raid. And welcome, everyone. So here's the basic structure for the way that commands work in this. So you saw me using chat commands. This is the way that it works. We have a couple of things that we put in here. This is some way of determining whether or not it should be turned on. This usually is a reference to a setting. So X in this case, you'll notice, is an application settings object. So when we're checking to see whether a command is supposed to get used, we pass in the current settings, and the command looks at those settings and says, yep, I'm supposed to be turned on. I saw my setting in there, and I'm supposed to be enabled. So that keeps encapsulated the logic of determining what should be enabled in a program. The next thing here is this is get the list of command words I should respond to. So this means exclamation point popper is what we should respond to. And if you know English well and you understand what, or any other language that shares common words with English, then you would know that this is a command that is in some way going to make the character poor. The character will have no money after you run this, and it's not just no money, we're going to do other terrible, terrible things to our player. So someone's in this game and has all of these lovely items. Look at all those lovely items, all that wealth. And here's what I want to do. First off, I want to make sure that we have an it's an inventory accessor. Inventory accessor. So yeah. Step 1. No cool haircut. No, S&V, it's not going to be a cool haircut. It's going to be the removal of all items. Though speaking of haircuts, I need one. My hair's getting a little unwieldy. Okay, so first things first. I want to say command data dot user dot is me, or command data dot user dot is broadcaster. And let's invert that. So essentially now I'm saying if it's not me and it's not the broadcaster, so the bot can give itself commands, and the broadcaster of the stream can use this command. Now, this logic will get moved somewhere else. This is just a safety for me, so that I don't just let someone else run it, because I want to be the only one that executes this command. So, you don't get to execute this one. Is the short answer there. Okay, next thing that we need to do. So we have dependency injected in the inventory accessor. And I want to say, whoops, I did not save that as a field. I should do that. Inventory accessor dot, so I have add item, which is interesting that I can add an item, but I don't want to add an item. I want to remove items. Luckily, I know how to remove items already. So let's do this. Let's try scanning inventory first. Ooh, or do we just put on there the ability to remove all items? Maybe we do. So maybe we just tell it to remove all items and then we add them back in, the ones that we need. Let's do that. Underscore inventory accessor, remove all items. Yeah. Sounds about right. That sounds incredibly evil. Yeah, let's do it. This is where we were just looking a minute ago. Cool. So, in order to make this work, we need to say the reverse of this. Eight to the HP of monsters and bosses as well. I would guess if they are hardcore, command would be in order. Are the HP of the bosses, monsters and bosses changeable as well? Yeah, so S and B, they are. Yes, average guy, you're totally right. But you don't do this stuff if you're working on a big important database. And also, I'm not messing with the save files. Hi, New Duck, welcome. Okay. Let's see. Inventory capacity is that. Okay, so okay, so let's do this. So, let's say has item is going to be the name of this one. Where we want any byte is not the max value. If any byte is not the maximum byte, so not all ones, then that means there's something there. It's not an empty record. So there's has item. Yes, quack quack. Hang on, we got a new duck person in here. Let's, there we go. Welcome, new duck. Hey, it's duck. Duck, duck. Good stuff. We do like our ducks here, and thanks for that follow, new duck. Yes, I am a fan of the ducks. Specifically, the rubber ducks. Okay, so I want to scan for the first item that is this. Scan for it, or... remove all items. That's a good question. So I could write this in two ways. So new duck, information about, small amount of information about that's right there. We're building an application that lets you mess with Final Fantasy VII, funny enough. So that's why this menu color, like why that coloring is all weird there, is that was actually controlled by chat. So now what I'm debating, I've got two options here. I can either write some code that will use our existing pieces of code and basically say, hey, scan for the first non-empty item and overwrite it, and then scan for the next one and then overwrite it. Oh, and I could just update the first address each time. Yeah, we're gonna use our existing structures, because I was just debating, do I want to write code that like specifically is designed to remove items? At which point I could just say, hey, always do replacing. But that seems, yeah, I do blame you for that menu color. Sorry, Janiscu, the program's not running right now because we're editing it. I am going to use existing stuff because we can reuse that number and write it again. So. So first, let me do a quick scan. Let me just put this in and that'll let me think about how we're doing this. So, has item. So we want to find the first row in our inventory that has an item. Hey, Sourceify, welcome. I used to use C# and .NET Core, but using Python for my current project. Oh, that's awesome, New Duck. I like Python a lot. That's actually the language I used before I switched to C#, like, forever ago. Okay, so in this, if scan result equals -1, do something. Whoops, scan result dot that equals -1, then do something. Oh, actually, this would be quit. That'd be return. If we ever get to this point, we want to return. That means that there were none left. It reached the end and didn't find any empty records, so we'll return if we get that. The next thing that we want to do, so that's the initial scan. We'll do that, and then so we do one scan. That's our base offset, which means that next location. So we need to create a new int pointer for the next location, which we'll call next address for now, equals first address. Whoops, nope. It is int pointer. Right, int pointer dot add to the first address, the offset. Scan result dot base address offset. So this is the pointer to the beginning of the inventory in the game. This will get us the next location. So that's basically going to say, hey, take that address, add this offset, and that will get us the next location to begin checking again. So then we want to loop back up and do it again. So if we didn't find one, before we jump back to the top, we want to write an inventory item that is like that. So bring this down here, and instead of writing it this way, since I always want to create a blank one, this is always going to be the same blank one. So I don't need to worry about the slot data. I just need to know the address where I'm putting it. Oh, that's not gonna work because we're not always scanning from the first address. We need to be keeping the base offset. Int base offset equals 0. Hang on, before we do that, base offset equals 0, and now I'm gonna do this for a moment. Don't at me. Do while scan result dot base offset address does not equal -1. So that becomes the return? No, because we need to escape before we do that. So that doesn't actually work. Yeah, it won't quite work for this. Gotta think through this one. How do we want to do it? Base offset 0. We escape only when it's actually done. Well, actually, we can still do the do-while loop, now that I think about it. But then we'll just do it differently, so... Let me leave this true for now, and then we'll put the code in the correct place, and then it should make sense. So we're going to put this here, but that's still going to be the check, and we'll say, well... So we don't even bother going in there. Oh, scan result can't be from in here? Really? Doesn't exist in the current context because this is the outside of the do-while loop scope. Base offset exists. No. Yeah, it's based off base offset, not that offset. Right. It's base offset. So do while the base offset is less than the capacity? Well, base offset is less than the capacity. Is that correct? If we have 219 items, then that would mean that going to index 319 would be invalid. We would want to escape before that point. So we do not want to check the last one. Okay, so that should be right. What we then want to do is this. We want to say base offset plus equals the scan result base address offset. We want to do that here. So that's basically, so this is our basic update. So this is keep track of this because we're actually going to say first address plus the base offset to get the next starting address. So this should get created up here instead. Get used right there. So initially, we add 0 to that address. The first time through the loop, it will check at next address for that size, capacity, and whether or not it is an item. And if we got -1, we break out of the loop, or we'll also break out of the loop if our base offset is... So this is adding the offset. Wait, hang on. That's where we found it. We need to add 1 to that. We need to add 1. But not 1. We need to add item size. So this is the... yeah, this is total offset. Total offset. So that's the one that we're going to use. Next address is the first address plus the total offset. That's the next address to check. If the total offset, so we want to go, well, the total offset's less than capacity. Base offset is... Yes, Miha, you are absolutely right. So that needs to be less than item capacity times item size. And just being clear, even though those are not necessary, I want to be super clear, hey, multiply these together. If they are greater than the total offset, then you can keep going. Has item. Now what we want to do before we go to that next one each time base offset plus total offset. So, okay, this needs to be done directly before we do that. So this is setting up for the next time through the loop. This is where we need to actually do the work. So we're going to say memory write mem. Which actually, I'm going to hide this in a method like I did in my previous one. We're just going to hide that in there. Remove item is what we're going to call it. So we're going to say remove item, and the offset is actually going to be these added together, but not plus the item size. So we're going to say remove item at that location. So that's the total offset plus the plus that. That'll be an int that we'll call yeah, it was a great suggestion there, S&B, figuring that out first. In fact, that's almost a field. Probably should be, but I'm not going to do it just yet. Remove item, that, so that's the address that we want to remove from. Process name, pointer, so you take first address plus the total offset right there. And then inventory slot as bytes. So this is going to be byte.maxValue and byte.maxValue. Why would you capitalize that? There we go. Interestingly, I think that will work right now. I think it will. Remove the items from that. But I'm not all that trusting, so I'm going to do that. In our popper command, we're just calling remove all items. And I need to do a couple of other things to make this work. And by that I mean to wire it up. So this is going to be the popper command. And that actually might be the only thing we have to do, is just add that command. We're about to find out. 2 local functions and 1 method. Yep, and they're short little ones. What do you want? They're not bad. Okay. Let's try this. See what happens. Hang on. Copy paste just to make sure I spelled it right. I sure think I did. Why didn't... oh, it looks like it didn't build. Because it just built now. What? Seriously, run that without building it? Oh, that'd be an interesting one. Nope, it's not executing that command. Oh, it's not connected! Son of a... derp. Derpy derp derp. Derp a derp derp and herp a derp. Derp and derp. Herp a derp. Ah, yes, nothing quite like a derp. Thanks, S&B. I needed someone to put a derp in chat there, because derp. Alright, yes. Oh, I know, Strife. Don't worry, the cost on the popper command, like, you gotta set this high. It would be terrifying. And this is just items. I'm going to set Gil down to nothing also, and remove all materia, and switch your weapons back to the default weapons for each character. It's going to be cruel. Like, every character back to their default weapon, every character back to bronze armlets, remove all accessories. It's going to be evil. Evil. Okay, so our next address... Yep, that's the address of the first inventory record. Scan memory. Should come back with like an offset of 0, because there's an item in the first slot. Yes, offset of 0. I actually should have just said less than 0 instead of equals -1. Any negative number, because if we overflowed or something like that, we'd wanna break out of this because something's wrong. Okay. Let's see what remove item does. Okay, that should have done it. It should be gone. Okay, first item's gone. Oh man, that's terrifying. Okay, now total offset is 2. That makes sense because we added item size. So our next location should be, yep, at 236. That's correct. 2 is less than 638. Yeah, 638 should be what it is. Yep, okay. That makes sense. This one should find one immediately, so this should be, yep, an offset of 0 from our starting point. Which means we want to remove at location 2. Alright, second row gone. Second row's gone. Oh man. Alright, do we do it? Do I just let it run? I kind of want to let it run. Let's toss a breakpoint there, and a breakpoint maybe here, which would be the end of the method. Okay, good. So it caught this one, which means that it found it. What's our memory address? What's our total offset? Total offset's like. Oh, whoops! No, I want it on this. I want it actually on that. How do I... Well, I won't worry about it. Here goes. Run. Okay, boom. Inventory should be cleared. Because I can check the total offset now. 30, which means about 15 items. That sounds right. Oh, there go all your items. Oh, man. No, S&B, I need to do it immediately because I'm doing that trick where I just go to the next one. I don't want someone to be able to arrange their items up to the top to be able to save them. I guess I could have it at the end, do a full loop of the whole thing, like one final scan of everything, just to make sure they're all gone, and that you didn't try to sneak anything past us. So instead of making the WoW be something like this, we really could just base it off of the scan result and always go from the beginning. Yes, Janiscu, it is running now. You should... What? Menu, blue, green, magenta, orange? What? Is it just Janiscu can't send it in? Janiscu, I'm not sure why your menu thing didn't change. Blue, green, magenta, orange? Oh, I'm caught on my breakpoint still. Derp. That's why. Okay, cool, we're good. Visual Studio had everything stopped right there. So, there we go, color changed. So, if we take a look at the inventory now, all of the items are gone. Oh, man. And jumping pages at a time? Yep, that's all the items. They're all gone. There are no remaining items. Now, you might have noticed, oh, look, I still have stuff like an accessory, I still have my Force Stealer and my silver armlet, and if I jump over to Barrett, he still had a Protect Vest, assault gun, and a gold armlet. Well, we need to fix that. This Pauper command isn't quite evil enough yet. I don't think. I don't know about you. I think it should force you into, I think it should force you into some crappy weapons first. So, how about if we grab the equipment accessor and force all the characters into their base equipment as well. So, remove items needs to be last. So let's say we need to go through all characters. Their weapon value, so what are weapons? Weapons... The base value for each character... yeesh. Okay. I need to make it so everybody's are starting at 0. There's something I need to fix about the weapons, because this is actually going to be hard to do. But I guess I can just take the lowest one from each set, so we'll do that for now. So I will do it this way. For each weapons dot all weapons, we'll say dot values. That's a list of weapons. No, I did want to do it the other way. Weapons, weapons, dot all weapons. I need to change how we, yes, Strife, we're going to nuke materia too, because we do have stuff that does materia. Yep, is there a pointed stick? Pointed stick. No, we can't lower them that bad. All we can do is do starting weapon for the character. So let's do all weapons, var, let's call this a weapon set. So I need to get the character, so car names, car name, car, equals, car names, get by name, try get by name. I don't have the... I have by name, but I don't have by ID. How do I not have by ID? Guess I didn't make it. Okay, that's fine. I'll just all and grab it by ID, and someone will shoot me, but that's fine. Car names dot all single or default, x dot ID, oh, is all not public? Private, static, read only. Yep, of course I did. Okay. Public, static, car names, and we'll say get by ID, int ID, all dot single or default. x.id equals id. There we go, done. Now we just have car names get by id, weapon set dot key. Yes, I know that's terrible. We're not going to do it this way. Not in the long run. To do change to calculated weapon IDs to simplify this. Okay, so that gets us our character name. So now in the equipment accessor, if car name does not equal null, just in case, safety first, folks, safety first. Then I want to set them to weapon set dot value dot first. No, not first. Minimum based on the value. So lowest value. So pick the one with the lowest value. Right, and this is, whoops. Let me put my equipment accessor in there. The equipment accessor is one of these. So we have the equipment, the inventory accessor will have the equipment accessor as well. So this is the thing that knows how to mess with character equipment. We have all that wrapped nicely into a class. And this is a byte that indicates the weapon value. So value, so that grabs the minimum value and returns it. Yep. So whatever the lowest one is, that's the one we're going to put in there. Cool. It's amazing how much coding value can be gotten from a fun application like this. No need to do serious projects all the time to learn a lot. Yes, exactly, S&B. We don't have to be building a standard, just normal application to get a lot of educational value out of it, because there's a lot of things going on. So, like, you can see encapsulation for how I separated out things that access equipment versus things that access the character inventory, and how those bits are separated for different things. This, when it removes the character's weapons, it is actually going to put them in the inventory, so that's why we're getting rid of these weapons first. So, good stuff. Plus, we get all these fun colors and things while we're doing it, too. So that should set them all to the minimum value. Okay, that's super evil. We need to do the same thing for... Not exactly the same thing, actually. For each... I don't have just all. This is what we were talking about. I don't have this. That's public now. Congratulations. Car name. Which actually, now that I think about it, why don't I do it this way instead? So make this be the loop, and then grab the weapons to apply them. So we'll do this, and the character will never be null. And then we'll set their weapon to that, and then we will set the character armlet to something. Won't worry about that yet. And then we will set the accessory. So there'll be a single loop to get each character back to their default values, whatever they are. So this one needs to get the character weapons. Var char weapons set equals weapons dot So this would be the lowest weapon for each character, would be what I'd be going for, but I can't get it because it wants weapon ID. Son of a gun. Okay, so all weapons. There's only one for each one, and this is so simple it's never going to change. X dot key. Wait, is that actually the dictionary? Oh, I have access to the dictionary. Car name. Right, don't I? Dot ID? Right. It's carname.id. That's what it is. There's our weapon set. And from that set, grab the minimum one. Boom, got it. Okay, cool. Trebinator, you have been programming in Java since this is what you learned in school. I'm interested in trying out new programming language, but you don't know which one you should choose. Trebinator, that really depends. Yeah, so as FuelSnable mentions, if you want to stick to the JVM, you can try other languages that run on there. You will not... So, in trying C#, that would not really be an expansion of your programming knowledge. C# would be have a different view of a similar type of language. So if you want to check out C#, that's what it would be. Kotlin is like C# for the JVM. That's hilarious, Greendolf. Yeah, so a lot of people like Kotlin, so that would be something to look at to expand your horizons. You'd recommend checking a look. Yes, so what Average Guy is mentioning is also a good thing. If you are looking to get programming jobs, you will want to look at what types of languages are popular in your area. C++ would be a good way to learn about what's going on underneath the hood. Taking a look at a functional programming language, it can be a nice way to do things as well. That again can be a horizon expanding concept. JavaScript is always a popular one if you want to look at that as well. Keep in mind, if you are relatively new to programming, Java and JavaScript are not related despite that name. That's just unfortunate, really. It is an unfortunate decision someone made a long time ago to confuse everyone, apparently. And it has done so forever. Okay, so 0 and 0 technically would work for those, but I want to do this as armlets dot all dot min value accessories dot what's empty accessory? An empty accessory, I believe, is hang on. Oh wait, no, I meant to do this. It's called by here. That's accessory ID. So it attempts to get the existing accessory ID. This is going to be accessory.value. Only do it if it's not null. I think empty is going to be max value because that's what everything else does in this. So we're going to attempt it. We're just going to put that in and see what happens. In the popper command, we're going to say what takes an int? What? Are you kidding me? What was I smoking? That's a byte. Period. Why would that be anything other than a byte? That's insane. These are changing. These are bytes. Oh, actually the armlet is a short. My bad. That's an unsigned short on that one. Okay. Let's go to the implementations of these. Armlet is a U short. And we said that accessory is a byte. There we go. Okay. That'll do. Yeah, Fuel Snable, I think it was. Java was popular, so JavaScript. Write once, run everywhere, yep. JavaScript probably was closer to Lisp than it was to Java when it came out. That, in terms of actual language, I would agree with that. I bet it was. So that should remove all of that stuff. Actually, before I connect this, hang on. Am I running Cheat Engine? Nope. We're gonna start it. Sorry for the flash of the screen there, everyone. I need to look at memory. Okay. And I want to load up this. Alright, let's explore. So that's materia slot. Character memory locations. Are either of these characters equipped with... nope, neither of them has accessories right now, so... what's the offset for an accessory? An accessory is 29, so I can remember the number 29. Let's pull up a calculator, jump to hex, switch back to decimal, add 29, and switch back to hex, and I will go up here, and I want to add an address manually that is DBFDAA, and this will be cloud accessory. That is a single byte, and we'll take a look. So it's currently 255, and so watch that value right there. It's kind of hard to see it as this one. It's set to 255. When I go in here and I equip, now it's 2. Now it's 1. And when I unequip, now it's back to 255. So that number right there that I've highlighted was changing. It's kind of small. I apologize that's hard to see. I can't really make cheat engines show bigger numbers, but that does confirm my guess that a max byte is what we want to put in there, which means that this that we did right here should work. All right. What equipment did we say they have? So let's equip him with that, and let's equip him with this. So that should nuke his protect vest. That should nuke that. So what it's actually going to do, let's throw in a breakpoint so you can see this happening. So we'll toss in some breakpoints. Okay, everybody ready to see this? So it'll start us with cloud, it should. So we'll be over here. Did I connect it to the chat? Nope. Now it will be. There it is. Okay, so I run this command. We catch this first breakpoint. We should be on cloud right now. Let's confirm. Yep, cloud. Okay, so the first thing we do is we set his weapon. So that should have just set his weapon. So we're blocked right there. He's switched back to the Buster Sword. Okay. Next thing. Check cloud. He's switched back to a bronze bangle. Let's step again. And his accessory has been removed. So no more accessory. Let's see, who's our next character in the list? Is this Barrett or Tifa? Tifa. So let's skip over her. So now we should be on Barrett. We're on Barrett, so let's watch him. Switch over to his page. So he has a Gatling gun, a gold armlet, and a protect vest. And his Gatling gun's not gone. Oh wait, is Gatling gun his starting one? I think it is. Never mind. He was already on his starting one. Bronze bangle. And that should nuke his accessory, which is now gone as well. Let's get rid of that because we don't need it. So it'll hit all the other characters, and then we get down here. And we don't have any items right now because I didn't tell it to save any of those weapons when it pulled them off. So there we go. Let's remove that breakpoint. So that should have just nuked all the items. So no more items, no more anything like that. But we're supposed to be super poor, right? Well, there's a slight problem here. We still have Gil. There's still money in our bank account here. Clearly that's a problem. We can't save money. How to solve cache invalidation. Wait, what? Wait, come? I think the story is that management decided mid-implementation that the syntax wasn't Java-like enough. Huh. Yeah, Strife. No, we need to reset Gil down to 0. We can't have any money. That'd be crazy. Additionally, we need to nuke all the materia, so we need to get rid of all the materia. So why don't we do that one next? And actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and change which save file we're in. And the way I'm going to do that, because I don't have a way to... I don't want to reload the game, that's just silly. Who would reload the game? That's just crazy talk. We don't reload games here. We just get into combat and then die. Petrify top. Did that not petrify the top? Oh, I don't have it running! Oh, derp. Okay. Well, in that case, just go ahead and kill yourself, guys. Actually, no. I really don't want to restart. I'll just wait until the program's running again. Okay, so we need to... So this is the inventory accessor. We did a remove all items. Let's do the same thing, but for materia. Remove all materia. This is crazy talk. What's crazy talk? I trust random links from S&B, which might be a mistake. Ah. It's just a SpongeBob video. He didn't rickroll us, everyone. Okay, so remove all materia. So offset that. So this also has item size and first address, so this concept still kind of works. The item size here, though, is 4. So that means that when we blank it, we want to do this 4 times. So we're writing 4 bytes into the location. It's everything else. Funny enough, I think this is the same, which tells me that this method needs to get extracted into something. Just a SpongeBob video. I am sorry, I hadn't realized I was talking to a bishop in the church of SpongeBob. That is my mistake, average guy. I apologize for that. Okay, remove all materia. This should be evil enough for most people. Void, remove all materia. There we go. Now, the part you're going to laugh about is this still isn't going to remove the materia that you've got equipped yet. We have to do something else for that. But I happen to know that when I adjust the way that, well, actually, what do we? Yeah, we're gonna need to do some extra steps to get rid of all that, because we don't want them to hold items anymore either. So, remove all materia. Materia accessor. So let's go to the popper command again. It needs a materia accessor, so let's new line that. We'll introduce a read-only field called materia accessor, and then we're going to come down here and remove all materia. Okay. Funny thing is, I think that already works. We're going to find out if it works. We're going to try it. But how are we going to try it, you say? We don't have any inventory, and we don't have access to any. To which I say, petrify top. What? 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 Have them all disabled. Petrify. Okay. Actually, I think that might have just lied. Okay, game over. There we go. They're both petrified. So there's our game over. Now we can reload the game real fast. Yep, that's how you die. You just let chat, you know, kill your characters for you. Okay, so here I am outside of the Shinra building. I have 3 party members, Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett. And I have this stuff called materia. But I don't seem to have any here, so let's go ahead and dequip a bunch of materia so we can test this. So there's our materia down here, right? Let's put it in a couple of spots. So I'm going to just drop one there, and then let me pick up another one. So we'll grab the lightning materia here, and we're going to page all the way down to the bottom and put that in the last spot. Oh, so I guess Fury could technically be applied at any point, Strife. But no, we don't let that one. We don't let any of the status effect commands apply outside of combat. Yeah, Fury and Sadness could definitely be applied when you're not in combat. But I don't currently do that because I didn't separate out how Fury and Sadness work. They work like all the others, and since none of the other ones would you want to apply outside of combat, we don't do that. I would have to look at where those statuses exist. I haven't found where they are. I didn't bother checking for it. Okay, so we have a bunch of materia. We have some items. Our characters are equipped with equipment. So, whoops, Buster Sword, Assault Gun, and a Metal Knuckle. So she has an upgraded item. She has an upgraded armlet. They all have upgraded armlets. Are there no accessories on these characters? Well, we've already seen accessories work, so we know that's going to work. Let's watch as our materia all gets destroyed. This will be fun. Yeah, for certain, you know, definitions of the word fun. Do I have a breakpoint in here? I don't. Let's drop one in, just so we catch it. Hopper. There we go. Let's see what happens. So that should get everyone's weapons. Why is that still separate? That was dumb. I'm restarting this program, but, you know, with that removed. Okay, there we go. Popper. So here it is. So for the first one, it should reset all of Cloud's stuff. So let's bring up this screen, and we'll look at Cloud's equipment. Whoops. I can hit the right buttons. So he has Buster Sword and Mithril Armlet, which he already had one of those. One of those is already the base, so that switches him back to the Bronze Bangle. And then we'll run this again, and that should have reset Tifa down to the Leather Glove and the Bronze Bangle. And now Barrett should have gotten the same treatment back to the Gatling Gun and a Bronze Bangle. So these characters have been dropped to their crappiest of stuff. Let's check out our materia, though. We should still have plenty of materia. Yep, still have plenty of materia. At least that's safe. Oh man, would we be in trouble if we lost all our materia? That would be terrible. Okay, so we should still have all the materia. We do. Yeah, it is actually hardly unfair there, S&B. She could beat him up so much with those leather gloves. Yes, exactly what Strife just said. The Gatling gun is outmatched. That's the funny thing about it. Alright, so all materia should now be removed. Whoop, there it goes. That was all the materia. Let's page down a bunch. Should be all of it, including... Oh! Off by one. Alright, we need to fix that. We're off by one. We didn't get rid of the last one. Yeah, S&B, we're going for realism here. Okay, so but what that means is, let me check and see if we're off by one in both places. Let me do a quick rearrange. I am going to put our Deadly Waste as the last item on this page. And we're going to find out if it gets removed. Nope, the Deadly Waste survived. Okay, so that code we wrote has an off by one error. So we're off by one. We're going to go fix that real fast. So we're off by one. You know what? Instead of shutting this down to take a look, let's just run the command again and actually be at the location where that happens. Actually, let me do this. Let me just run it one more time, because what I want to find out, and thanks for changing the color there, Janiscu. I want to find out, is our off by... Okay, what I wanted to confirm, and the reason why I did this, was were we off by one because we were doing that, like, increment as we go and continue from where we left off, or are we actually just not checking the last one? And it looks like we just aren't checking the last one. So... does that mean we aren't scanning it, or we aren't removing it when we scan it? That's a good question. Let's run the popper command again. Whoops. Let's find out. We are in the inventory access. I don't need that right there. That's fine. Take me in here. Here we go. So we're going to grab the process, and the offset is less than the capacity. Offset less than the capacity. So I want to... Let's do a breakpoint when the offset... So I'm going to do a conditional breakpoint here. So we're going to right-click on that, bring this up, and we're going to say when offset is greater than 310. So we'll just walk the final ones. Okay, so here we are. We're at this point where the offset is greater than that value. So offset is currently 312. Let's just think about this. Offset is 314. The capacity is 319. Oh my god. I don't think we're off by 1. Yeah, no, they totally are. When you need to debug into a loop, yes, Miha, that's exactly what I was just realizing. It is supposed to be that. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna extract these as replace 2 occurrences. This is our maybe why don't we call it max offset? Capacity in bytes. Why did I write it that way? It's this and that and int. There we go. Sure, it can be a uint. That's fine. We don't need that one then. Since that's a local function, it's just going to use that one. Okay, let's do the same thing over in... no, this is memory access. This will get used in both places. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, great. Yeah, average guy, conditional breakpoints. You can actually... So, one thing I really want to do that's evil is like... this is one of those things like when you just... When you have the right brain to think of these horrible things that you'd never really do, but you just kind of want to do. I really want to see someone make a program that only runs in Visual Studio because like half the logic is in conditional breakpoints or something ridiculous like that. Like they're designed to not evaluate to true. However, the breakpoint has to be checked because you can actually have like it's possible to have a side effect in a conditional breakpoint. That's the part that's just gonna like screw with your brain right now. Is yes, a breakpoint can actually change values in memory while you're running it in debug mode. So literally your program only works when you're debugging it because those breakpoints need to run but not actually catch. Which is like one of the evilest things I can think of. It just sounds terrible. Okay. We're in here. There's our deadly waste. Isn't that evil, S&B? Doesn't that sound evil? I'm not sure I could think of anything more evil than that. Oh! Deadly waste still... Oh, no. Whoops. Just caught on that breakpoint, so. And deadly waste is still there. Why is my deadly waste still there? Now maybe we're actually hitting the off by 1 that I thought we were getting before. Um... Oh, you know what'd be funny? Just put an infinite loop in a program, but have a conditional breakpoint that actually increments the numbers. So if you're not debugging, it causes the program to infinite loop. And if you are debugging, then the program runs just fine. That would be so funny. Yeah, that's evil. That one's not quite insidious, but it is still evil. About the move compiler? Miha, I'm not sure what you're talking about. What are you talking about? A compiler that compiles C code into only move instructions. Oh my god, that's evil. Welcome, Jensduck. Thanks for stopping by. And I apologize, everybody. I'm turning my AC on. It's too warm in here. Okay, I think I might actually be off by 1 now. We might legitimately just be off by 1. So why don't we do this? We'll put the condition. Well, I'll put it here because I don't want to hide that line. We want to break when offset is greater than capacity in bytes minus item size. Times 2. So we'll put that conditional breakpoint in there. The program is running. Oh, Jen. It doesn't count because I didn't wear it. Sorry. There we go. See? Now I wore it. There you go. No, because we multiplied by item size. So item size is going to be going to change that. So our capacity in bytes would be 319 times 2, so it ends up being an even number. Oh, and Jen, in case you wanted to see what you did, you changed this color when you did that menu random thing. So you changed the background color of that program. I just didn't have it up for anyone to see right now. Popper, you're watching me do it. What do you mean? How can I do it? We're looking right at it. There we go. Okay, cool. So offset is at 796 right now. Capacity in bytes, it would be 800. So we're at 796. So that would be, the first one would be at 0. 200. So this should be the last one. So let's step one spot. The address is DC07D0, so let's take a look at that address, and we're going to look at it as an array of bytes at DC. What was it? 07D0. So 07D0, and its length is 4. So that's those 4 bytes. But let's try incrementing by 4. So go up there. That one's also empty. Then this one should be not empty? No, that's empty as well. It's like we're not there or we're past it. Jen's Duck is correct. It's, people have been making them for other games now too. It's a popular thing to write right now. $319 times 2 capacity in bytes. There you go. Sorry, my breakpoint meant that you didn't get to see that, Jen. But yes, Jen's Duck is correct. People do build programs that let you control games and things like that. Okay, so let's think about this. So where is the starting location in memory for... we'll take a look at materia. So materia, there is our first address for materia. So I'm going to jump over here. We're going to do an initial scan for a single byte. We're going to start searching here. And we don't need to search all that far. But I guess we'll let it go till the end. Which materia is it that I still have in the game? So I know I still have one. What is it? It's right... wait. Oh, no. Wait, the materia got nuked. Wait, what? But the item didn't? So the item didn't get killed, but the materia did. Did I change something about that one, but not the other one? I don't think I did. Unless I got the wrong number of items. Okay, let's look up what Deadly Waste is. Is that... do I actually have that programmed in here? Deadly Waste. Yep, it's in here. So I am looking for value number 38 in the... so let's bring this up. So I'm looking for 38 as... ooh, is it it's going to be a single byte. Because it's not over 256, so we are going to be able to find this byte. So I'm going to be looking for that one. And where is the starting location for the inventory? So there's the starting location for the inventory. So we're going to look starting here. There's no way that we have more than 512 of this. So let's go to our nice little calculator here. And we're going to switch back to decimal. Yeah, we'll switch back to decimal, and we're going to add... let's see. So there's no way there's more than 512 items, and we said an item takes up 2 slots, so 1024 should get us high enough. which means we want to go 2 DC 0 and then 6 3 4. Cool. We're scanning for the number 38 to appear somewhere in there. Was that the problem? Because those are hex values. I just need to do it like that. Okay, so here it is. So that's the value. Just to confirm, I'm going to move that item. So here's how we're going to check it. I'm going to go to it in here, and I'll check chat in a second, so sorry everyone. Arrange, customize. Whoa, it put me back on the top again. Thanks, game. We check real fast over here. 38 became 255, put it back, and it becomes 38 again. So yes, that is definitely our deadly waste. It sure as heck looks like it. So the program that we're building acts like an API for Final Fantasy VII. So we are writing the values of that game live while we're playing it. So yeah, so the neat thing about this is, and I love that Jen Stuck knows about crowd control games. That's awesome. See, I told you, Jen Stuck is awesome. So how to explain this? Well, actually, here, you know what? Let me just do this. I have that memory location. It's right there. So let's pull up our calculator again. Okay, so what I was trying to explain is, if you were to modify a game, you can actually make it so that it can have inter-process communication. That's actually a thing that you can do within software. So you can actually write a program that is designed to talk to another program so that you can call methods in that code. That's a thing you can do, but you need to have written the program that's going to have its methods executed. I didn't write Final Fantasy VII, so potentially I could modify that game to allow it to accept communications to let me call methods that actually exist in Final Fantasy VII. Since they don't exist, I have to do it the painful way, which is why I'm modifying memory and having to re-implement logic that they probably already have in the game. If I could just call their de-equip method, it would de-equip an item from a character, and that would work just fine. Miha, they used to. I wonder if that got taken away. They should be able to cause side effects. Maybe only certain ones they can do. I'll check on that. But should be able to. So C0 4B2. DC0 4B2 minus, where's our starting address? Right there. DC0234 gets us that. So 638, which is double this. Does that mean am I off by one? Does that mean that there are actually 320 locations? Starting location plus 319. So if I have one item, then the starting location, the ending location are the same. I'm off by one, son of a... Gah! We're just off by one. There are 320 spaces. See, I told you I thought we were probably just off by one. And we were, in addition to our other problem. We had two problems. One of them was being off by one. Okay. Yeah, so average guy. Yeah, we are actually modifying the memory of that other program live as it goes. Hang on. It's not connected, Jen's stuck. I just restarted it. There you go. Now you can try it again. Are we going to catch another breakpoint, or is it just going to work? I didn't put a thing in there that, like, told me when it was done. Oh, there, it's gone. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. That's incredibly evil. There you go. Oh, isn't that lovely? Yeah, what a great color. You know what's even better? That one. Yeah, that one's bad too. We don't yet, S&B, but we're about to. 4 colors, Janisku. 4. 1 or 4. Okay, so. Let's add in a little confirmation. So let's add a Twitch client to this. So again, just dependency injected in here, so we're just going to add Twitch client to the end. Twitch client. Prepare for superior degrees of evil here, because we have not removed the GIL yet. Send message to command data channel. All weapons and armor set to default. All items, accessories, materia, and GIL have been removed. Good luck. Sounds crazy evil. Have a good lurk, S&B. Might want to have a white on lockdown. No, white's fine, actually, Jen's Duck. White's not bad at all. Just because of the way the text in this game works, because they knew they were allowing the menus to have that customization. So white doesn't cause a problem, because even though the text is white, the text is actually all white and black both in Final Fantasy VII, so you can always read it. Regardless of what happens with the background. They wanted to make it so that like you could change the background however you want, but the game still worked. So you'll notice there's a little bit of black around it. So if we do a quick menu white, you'll see that like it's not easy to read, but you can read all of it because it's got the you know, they made the text look almost 3D with the way they did this font. So it kind of pops off the screen a little bit still. Not saying that white's nice, but it's not as bad as you'd think. There we go. Okay. Either way, Popper. All weapons and armor set to default. All items, accessories, materia, and GIL have been removed. Good luck. Yep, that is really, really terrible. Okay, so I actually need to... I said I removed the GIL, but I didn't. That was a lie. Time to make it the truth. How do we want to modify that one? That one feels like it should be another kind of accessor thing. Maybe it's part of equipment, actually. Is money... or no, oh, maybe GIL is part of it. No, inventory materia. No, it feels like it's something else. Are there other, like, whole group concepts that we want to worry about? So... memory locations. Yeah, so that's memories. Yeah, see, I have GIL right here. That's where the GIL is stored, right there. Adding black stroke over white text is always a great idea. Yep, because it makes it so that you don't have to worry quite as much about the background. So this is just a default memory location that we have here. Here's memloc.gil. Oh, do we do it? Okay, here we go. Whoops. Memory accessor. There we go. Excuse me. Hang on one sec. Wow, Miha, we should totally put you on our naming team. That iCurrency Accessor Controller Factory sounds awesome. Initialize from constructor. There we go. So we'll have a memory accessor up here. Let's see, does this make any sense? Write memory? No, because it wants process. Yeah, we don't want that in there. Yep, that's going away. We're not using that one. Nope. Get out of here. Alright, we're gonna do this for now. That'd be a GIL accessor. It's gonna we're gonna have to put something else in here. Set GIL, we'll say. And let's set it to 2, because we're so nice. What are you making exactly? Real Cosmic. We are making a program that gives Twitch chat control over Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, Twitch interaction with Final Fantasy VII, exactly. So let's go ahead and first off, we're going to jump here, and I am going to say public interface iGIL accessor. And back here, when I say set GIL, it's going to create this void set GIL GIL. Bring this to its own file. Inside of this, I'm going to create a derived type that we're going to call the GIL accessor. We're going to make it public. Tell it to implement its missing members. Give it a constructor that takes in, well, here, let's move it to its own file first. Then we're going to give it a constructor that takes in an memory accessor. And we're going to use it down here, but before we do that, let's take a look at one of these other ones, like the... which one were we just in? We were in the equipment one. Take a look at this one. So I'm going to borrow that. We're going to put it up here. Yep, because I will need that in a moment. Do we need anything else? No, I don't think we do. I think that's the one we're going to need. So, memory accessor, write memory, settings.process name. We're going to need the default address, so I'm just going to put 0 for now. And then bit converter, dot get bytes for the GIL. This just needs to be the address of that. So this will be memloc dot GIL dot address. And I think we're done with that. We'll go here and Alright, let's try it. Hang on, Jen's Duck. You'll have to see that in combat. Let me see. 2 gil, don't spell. Yeah, I thought it was more insulting to set it to 2 gil than to set it to 0. That just sounded so much worse. You know, like the game sets you to 2, and you're like, I don't even know what to do with that. Okay, so hang on. I don't know if you noticed, but you spelled integration wrong in your bottom overlay. Oh, you know, someone mentioned that last time, and I didn't fix it. Let me go fix that real fast. Integration. Integration. There we go. Yep, fixed. Egg Strife. I was wondering how long it would take him. Yeah, someone had mentioned it the last time, but I forgot to fix it. Yep, so, okay. 2 gil. Oh man, that's so evil. Okay, let's see if we can't. You know what? I'm actually just gonna quit and restart that because I wanna. Oh, do I have another typo in there? Hang on, let me see what Jen's Duck is talking about. Oh yeah, it's interaction, not integration. Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. That's the word I was going for. Interaction for FF7. Yep, there we go. So I guess the reason the addresses are in well-known places is because the devs use global variables to store state. If it was allocated using new, then it would likely not be as predictable. Yeah, but Fuel Snable, if we were going that route, then it would be harder, but we'd have to be finding everything based on pointers. And hopefully those pointers would still be in consistent places that we could find them. So it wouldn't be impossible to do this with a program that didn't have as consistent a memory, but it would certainly be a lot harder. So yes. Knows that to make chat more active, you need to misspell stuff in your overlay. That is absolutely true. I love what Jen's Duck did with your name there. That is hilarious. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of items. We have materia equipped to our characters. Okay, now we don't. And yeah, Fuel Snable, global variables are just fantastic. Everybody loves global variables. Alright, here, let's give it a try. We have so many nice things on our character. Pauper. 2 gil. No items. Yep. There we go. Yep. Nuked. Everything's gone. There we go. We now have a pauper command. It's not quite as evil as it could be because we're actually still missing a couple of things. You're like, wait, you're missing things? You've removed all the stuff. And yes, we're missing things. The thing that we're missing is this. If I left a character with any materia still slotted, we have not removed those. This command deserves a sound effect. Jen's Duck, this one is not open source right now. I might at some point. The W started a lot of conversations. Yeah, that does seem, because you're the average guy. Average. Whoops, sorry. Real Cosmic, let me help you out there. I apologize. I closed this. I turned the program off. Let's bring it back on so that people can see what's going on. There it is. Real Cosmic, go ahead and try that again if you want. So in fact, anybody can actually do that. And if any subscribers are in chat, like Fuel Snable, for example, Fuel Snable, not only can you mess with that, but Fuel Snable can actually use the commands I suggest over there to rename characters. So Fuel Snable can actually rename a character. Average at day, aw rage guy at night. Ah, what a great yeah, Real Cosmic, isn't that neat? You can actually specify the exact colors that you want. So you could do like red, black, green, and blue, and it'll make it red, black, green, and blue, and mix those colors together. You thought about writing a detailed tutorial on this project, if you have time, of course. Desert Griffin, do you mean a tutorial on how the program is written, or a detailed tutorial on how to use it? Maybe the losing sound of Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we could technically play a sound, but I don't want to, I don't really want to play a sound on someone's computer, because this is going to be run by a streamer, and not knowing how their sound settings are set up, it's a much worse thing to cause a sound effect to happen on their machine. Because like it could be that their volume is in such a way that like it would be deafening to their viewers or something like that. So I don't want to mess that up. I can probably do something on that at some point, Desert Griffin, which would actually be really useful if I want to build this same kind of concept for other you know, we'll say classic games. Because we could build more of these pretty easily, especially if I then recruit other people to work with me. Having a tutorial on how it, you know, is built would make it a lot easier to be there. Make a sound effect that says subscribe to DevChatter. There's supposed to. So one thing that actually will happen is after you wait a half an hour, if you still are using chat commands, like there's some required number of chat commands to have been used for this, it will actually suggest that people subscribe to DevChatter in the chat. So the bot will post that in there, because, man, I put a lot of work into this. Like, if someone's going to use this, I would not complain if, you know, like, someone that runs with this game, you know, like, if their fans are like, oh, yeah, no, I love that thing. I love that I have control over that. Sounds really cool. Okay, so add popper command and fix memory scanning. Okay, so the thing that we didn't make work yet, I said there was still something we didn't do. And people are probably wondering, I kind of alluded to what it is. And it is in the equipment. You know what? Here, let me reset, and I will show you all again. Bring this up on the screen, and okay. So now that we're in here, if you take a look at the materia screen, you'll notice that my characters have materia equipped. Okay? When I run the popper command, and it removes everything, you'll notice she still has materia equipped here. So does Cloud, and so does Barrett. But in fact, which one does he have equipped? He has lightning equipped, it says. But I'm betting, yeah, ice. Still even giving him the features for it. It says, has cure, and it will allow me to use it, and you don't see cure here. So here's the problem. When I remove their item, their equipment, it does not reset their materia, and it needs to. Discord me for a price? Jen's Duck, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, so this is clearly not... Oh, wow, that is hilarious. Oh my god, you can see them there! That's so neat. So there's the restore, there's the fire, there's the steel. They're not there, but I can see them. A soft reset command? Jen's Duck, what are you talking about a soft reset command? What are you talking about? Oh, resolve reset command. Oh, that, what it, wait, Strife, what would be rude? Oh, oh, you mean like reset so it goes back to the new game, continue screen? That would actually be useful. Like, as long as it's only, like, me that can do it. Like, so put it in the app instead of as a command that's connected into Twitch, for example. Because if you made it so it was just a command, no. Yeah, so Desert Griffin, that's why you don't let chat do it. And yes, as Strife is mentioning, it would be useful for things like chocobo breeding, or even while I'm just testing stuff, to just be able to hit reset and get back to that screen, because the game doesn't offer it. Here, let me show you. So I can quit. That doesn't take me to the new game screen. That actually closes the whole app, and I have to restart it. Start, select, and the shoulder buttons. I don't know what my select button is, though. I can't remember. Yeah. I can't remember what they are. Maybe, yeah, PC might not have it, I don't know. But either way, the popper command mostly works except for the fact that I'm not unequipping materia, which we need to do. Because it's just not nice that you get to keep the materia. That's terrible. So someone's probably then wondering, like, okay, where's that materia stored? And the short answer, let me open up Cheat Engine again, which, if you were here earlier in the stream, you saw me running this. Cheat Engine is, man, where is it? Oh, there it is. Yes, keep the current code list, please. Okay. Cloud weapon materia slot right here. So this is Cloud's first weapon materia slot. So, in fact, the characters actually have separate materia for their equipment. So, that means we need something that accesses those instead. So let's go to our materia accessor. And I guess we will make it... let's say public void remove slotted materia? No, because we don't want to remove all of it. Remove weapon materia. We'll make them named like this. So we'll remove weapon materia like this, and then remove armlet materia like this, even if they call the same code. Dark and Ace, no, we're not recreating it. We are giving chat control of it. So, well, it should build right now. That shouldn't be a compiler error. Let me show you. Since it's probably... Yeah, hang on, Strife. I gotta start up the program again. Because I'm running it out of here, I actually have to start it up when we do this. So, it's live now. Go ahead and try it. So, Strife is gonna go ahead and do menu random or something like that. Or maybe menu Strife. Or menu Brendan. Or something else. Someone's gonna type it in. Yes, exactly. You can't type it twice. I said or Strife. So yeah, so chat actually has full control over menu. You know, look, here's my hands. Not touching that keyboard. Anyone can change that at any point, however they like. Strife, why don't you show 4 colors? I just type in 4 colors, because that's another cool one. Doesn't matter what they are. There you go. So, chat has full control over the colors in this game. And, so that is blue in the top left, green in the top right, red in the lower left, and magenta in the lower right. Yeah, so this basically gives... You don't have 0 gil, you have 0 gil. That error message isn't right, but... yes, if you want to rename Cloud, you could rename Cloud. So, for example, I could say Cloud is Brendan, and boom, Cloud's Brendan. If I want Tifa to be strongest, we can change Tifa's name to strongest. We can name Barrett Lefty, for example. Whoops. Barrett Lefty. Now Barrett's name is Lefty. So you can actually just rename the characters, and that goes at any point. So if someone outbids me, and you know, gets a total for a different name, if a name other than Brendan, Strongest, or Lefty gets more, so for example, Barrett, and we'll give him 99. Barrett's name shifts back because that's now the leader. So that is the most bid for, and we can check out the name bids for Barrett, and you'll see that Barrett, being the name, has 109 gil towards it, and Lefty has 100, so his name is Barrett. As soon as Lefty regains the lead, then the name will change back to Lefty. So, lots of cool stuff like that. We also then have, you can trigger status effects on the characters for different, you know, costs. But anyway, let's see if we can't nuke some of the, yeah, Desert Griffin, you don't have any gil. If you want to check your gil, you can just type in !gil. So I apparently have 150, and so the goal of this also is we've put costs on these so that like if someone is streaming this, what they're actually able to do is, you know, actually, you know, earn some bits based on this. So if someone wants to change the menu color, you can say that in order to do that, they have to spend 10 gil. And you cheer bits in order to get gil. So it makes it a way to do that. And then you can also set it up so that subscribers get an automatic amount of gil. So in our chat, anyone that's subscribed to the channel automatically gets 150 gil to just use. So that is how it works. So, yep, someone could do, and I'm not actually going to do this, they could say, Cloud, Sword Guy, and do a cheer, 10, but without the space on the cheer, so it's an actual cheer. So I adjusted that so it wouldn't actually trigger a cheer there, but that would be the idea, is then that would name Cloud Sword Guy. It would put 10 gil towards that automatically. So that would be the idea. So yep, totally works. You can do that for the name bidding. You can put a gil requirement on menus. There's actually a gil requirement to change the character's weapons and things like that as well. So you can buy them weapons. You can apply status effects to them in combat. And then we're going to add other features as well. So right now we're just working on a really mean feature, which hopefully anybody that runs this program sets that really, really high. But the pauper command is just going to remove all of your items and weapons. Items, weapons, materia, everything like that. You'll be back down to default state. So right now we need to remove weapon materia and we need to remove armlet materia. So where is... So Cloud, we do have his materia slot. Did I actually put those on them? I think I did. Have you thought out a plan to filter out expletives from chat, or already done so? So Desert Griffin, we don't have there's not a great way to do that. We can potentially write a thing that allows you to remove the expletives, but the way that we do it right now is your moderators can actually remove offensive names from the list. So if someone wants to cheer for an offensive name, your moderator is going to remove it, and you will still have cheered. Hopefully your subscribers are not using offensive names, but yeah, there's not a... So we have not put that one in there yet, but yes, you are correct, we do need to handle that. But how would one know who Cloud is if someone renamed it previously? What do you mean, average guy? So his name is Brendan right now, but like, if I say weapon Cloud, you know, 4, oh, I don't have it running. But I don't know, I'm not sure what you're talking about, average guy. We know he's Cloud. People would need to know the game a little bit to know that he's. I can see some channels who run Final Fantasy VII and might use it that has trolls in their chat. Yeah, so Desert Griffin, that's part of the reason why you'd need your moderators to clamp down on that a little bit. We don't have an automated piece that does it just yet. We could probably watch for like the most obvious stuff, but at the same time, that's going to come down to like, yeah, we don't really have a great way of just policing it on our own, so it's going to have to be moderators for now, just removing offensive name bids. Remove weapon materia. That's not to say that you couldn't add one, because we could add one that just checks that before we even apply it, just says, hey, is this offensive, before we add it to the list. There are services that help with that. Yeah, exactly. It's just something that, like, it's a feature we could add at some point. We just haven't yet. Okay, so I want to remove weapon material, which means I need a character. So I need a car memloc. Car... Actually, why don't I just get a car names? Because everywhere else they're going to have this. They're not going to have the car memloc. So we're going to ask for this, and then we are going to memloc my name, car name. Okay, so this gets our characters' memory locations. So we'll have the characters' memory locations, and then we're going to say for the weapon, if we actually want to remove all weapon materia, then we can just do all 8 of them. So we can actually just say that up to 8. Just do them, or just overwrite all the bits. You know what? We're just going to overwrite all the bits. No, because we need to move each one. No, we're gonna do it separately because we actually want to put each one in. So when you remove it, we're gonna move it to. We're gonna move it. So we're gonna add materia for each one. So we're gonna add materia of the materia value. So okay. So what do we want to do? We want to say we don't want to scan memory. We want to memory, read memory, settings dot process name. The address we want to look at is int pointer address equals int pointer dot add car memloc dot this is weapon materia address. And actually, let me do this. Yeah, so that'll be dot address, and then we're gonna add in I, which I'm gonna rename I to be no, I is fine because we know that it's just a loop then. So we're gonna say address, and then the bytes that we're gonna read need to be What's materia slot? A materia slot's 4 bytes. So we're gonna make a new byte array of 4. We're gonna pull out as bytes. Then we are going to make a new materia slot from those bytes. Because we need to save it. Is there a possibility to limit commands to subs and followers and all? So Renee, I haven't built the features for that limitation yet, but yes, that would be entirely possible to say subs only. You can also, I could tweak it so certain commands, for example, only moderators can do certain things. But realistically, since there are costs on these, I was going to recommend that people mostly just set the costs high to limit that instead of doing individual permissions based on all those. But yes, I could put that in there. Could you? Yeah, as Miha mentioned, you could limit it, but it's behind a paywall anyway. Yeah. So that's the idea. If a non-subscriber wants to just, pay a bunch of bits to do something, so the idea being that, like, if they want to pay $20 to do something to your game, they're welcome to. And as the streamer, you get to configure what those costs are. So if you really don't want someone to do something, you either turn that feature off or you set its costs really high. So, for example, if you don't want someone to be able to just game over your run by, like, petrifying you or something like that, you can just turn that off, and petrify is no longer an acceptable status effect to apply. But if you're okay with that, just set the value really high so they have to pay like $50 in order to kill your run. Okay. Add materia, materia.id, and materia.experience. There we go. So we will add the materia there, and then we will remove it from this spot. Memory.write write memory. Settings. Process name. Address. And this will just be a new byte array of byte.maxValue four times. This, we'll call this empty row, and we'll just save this. We don't need to recreate that every time we do it. And, yeah, don't technically need that either. Now do we? S&B, yes, this is still Pauper. Because we need to remove all, so we need to be able to remove all of the materia from a weapon. And from the armor. So this should move it all to those spots as well. So let's do the same thing here. And then this should become really obvious that we need to extract out the fact that these are common. Because the only actual difference is where our starting location is. And what the amount is. So that's armor materia address. Let's extract these. Pull these members up. I want to pull remove weapon and remove armlet up into our interface. So that means that in our Pauper command, we should now be able to do this. So before we remove all materia, so this should be remove weapon materia, remove armlet materia, and we need to do this for each character. So we're going to do it in here. Which actually, why don't we do it before we take their weapons off? We'll do this first. Character name. Remove that. And then we'll do that. So, here, let's check it. Oh man, this is gonna be so freaking evil. So evil. Thanks, Renee. Karmamnok dot armor materia dot number of bytes. Whoops, I meant to go to Karmamlok. No, that's number of bytes total. What do we do on that? This really is like all of them. So it's really 32 bytes on each of these. It's really what it is. That's what that's referencing. Okay, so plus equals item size, and plus equals item size. Here up to that. Switching to those values. Okay, I think that's it now. Wonk. There it is. You know what? Since we've already been poppered on this one, let's do that. We'll restart it. So we'll restart the game. There it is. And load this. Our characters should have materia equipped. They do. And a bunch of other stuff. They've got money. Everything's looking great for them. No materia. No materia. Yep, has no materia on those. Well. Just to confirm, no materia down here either. Yep. Well, that would suck. Let's see. This is removing the equipped materia. So, yeah. Alright, next thing I want to do with this, because there's one other thing I want to adjust. That is in the weapon command and the armor command, we need to call this. So, weapon command. needs to have, so it has equipment, it has inventory, but it's also going to need the materia accessor. Because it is going to call that method when it's done as well, just to clear it out. Inventory accessor. Remove. This is the weapon materia for car name. Okay. Armlet command. There's that one. Let's create that. Materia accessor. We're going to come down to the same spot down here. And we're going to say... remove all armlet materia for the car name. Now I need to... I'm going to quit just because it'll be a faster way to confirm this. Okay. Equipment. Cloud has a Buster Sword. Let's go to the materia screen. So it says he has a Buster Sword. But let's try and weapon. Cloud Nailbat. Is going to be 10, I think? Nailbat, and the materia has been de-equipped. And there it is down there. So... and just to confirm, it does have its experience, right? Oh no! I butchered it. Something's wrong. We've got a bug. This is going to be a result of Endianness again. Okay, so that is in... hey, greetings, good evening. That is going to be because I used the bit converter again, and I need to stop using the bit converter. It doesn't work. So what I get for using it. Isn't it? No, it's in this. Okay. Has bytes. Do I have this backwards? Where do I have bytes 1 twice? Oh, no, every afternoon. That is correct. I think. Yeah, that's correct. I'm pretty sure. Well, hang on. How many bytes is that going to be? That could be 4 bytes? No, you're, wait, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that is suspect. I think you're right. I think that must be the problem. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think you're right. That's got to be it. That's got to be it. Oh, yeah, you're right. That doesn't make sense. We're receiving bytes. Yeah, now what am I doing here? Hang on. Let's brain for a second here. Oh yeah, no, that should work. That's an int operator. No, I don't think so, Steam. I think this is right. This first byte needs to get 16 bits added to it. That second byte needs to get 8 added to it, I think. We're going to drop a breakpoint there. Let's remove Cloud's... let's change Cloud's weapon. That's how we're going to check this. We're going to change Cloud's weapon. And we're going to see what happens with that. It could be wrong, but I want to confirm it by actually just trying it here. So we're gonna say armlet cloud. I don't know, 8. I don't know what armlet that is. It's gonna give us, but it doesn't really matter. So here's the bytes that we got. We got one that has empty bytes, so this is creating the one that's going to erase it, and then this one. Okay, that one's erasing it again? How many... What? Why did we create this that many times? What's calling this? Why are they always 255? There's one. Oh my god, are they displayed in reverse order, maybe? By damage assessment on computers, do you mean like physical damage of the machine? Ice and cover. Hang on, which one is this? 16. So we're looking at the cover right now, and the cover has 231 AP. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So it should be 231, should be one of these bytes. It is. That's the first byte, which means the first byte is the least significant byte. The second byte is the next most significant. And the third byte is the one after that. So let's go into this and take a look at how we're structuring it. So we're going to drop our breakpoint here. We're going to step to this point. So the most significant byte, let's take a look at what this creates. This should create the same number. It does not. What is byte? Oh, bytes 1 is the least significant. So we shifted it the wrong way. Bytes 1 is the least significant. Bytes 3 is the most significant. So that means that this needs to be a 3. This needs to be a 1. So the least significant is right here. Oh, see, that's funny. That's the way we wrote it here. Least significant bytes first, so chops the end. That shifts it that way, and that shifts it that way. That's funny. See, I had it right here, but wrong there. Okay. Okay, so it did not de-equip the items because I stopped it before it could do it. So it changed out our equipment, but I get to retry this test. We get to attempt this again. So let's reconnect to chat. Armlet Cloud 2. Okay, so here we go. You know what? Let's remove the breakpoints. Let's let's remove that one. Where's bytes? Right here. Okay. We're just gonna keep going until these bytes end up changing. There they are. So that's the one we want to look at. So let's go here. We're gonna step one space and see what our experience is. 231, that is correct. And then when we call as bytes, which we should, to take it back out again, we're expecting 16,231. Yeah, that's the same as it was the other direction, so that looks accurate. So now the de-equipped materia should have not only that value, but the correct amount of experience on it as well, which is, you know, AP in the game. So it has de-equipped it, and 231. Were they both at 231? They might have both been at 231. My God, I didn't check to begin with. Brendan, why didn't you check to begin with? What the heck were you thinking? They were both 231 to begin with. Okay, cool. So that needs its own commit. Fix bug with fix bug AP on materia from bytes. Okay, and then this is move slotted materia to inventory on equip change. There we go. Awesome. So what that means is that our weapons and stuff commands work a little bit better now. So now they actually take care of the slotted materia, just removing it all for now. A nicer feature, a nicer way to handle that would be to check and see the number of slots that are in the original item and the number of slots on the item we're changing to, and keeping anything that we can so you don't totally get hosed by that. But yes, that definitely could be a problem if chat changes your weapons on you. Okay, so there is another thing related to all of this equipment adjustment that we need to make, and that is that some commands should not be used during combat. So, where is battle command? Battle only commands. They're right here. These are the battle only commands. Is battle active? Non-battle command. Is battle active? Can only use that outside of battle. There we go. I need to remove some duplication in all of this, but I think that should work well enough for now to make that happen. And now I need to go to our app.cs and register battle command is right here. Register non-battle command. So non-battle command. Non-battle command is right there. So that is that. Hey, you've got light. So that was a good thing according to someone. So that is weapon, armlet, and accessory are all non-battle things. And you know what? Same with Pauper. No doing that to people in mid-combat. That's just mean. Mean. Don't do that. Non-combat commands right here. Whoops. So that's only in battle. This is not in battle. Skill, cost, materia, those are all fine. Because this just adds them to the inventory. It doesn't equip them. So yeah, that's fine. So those can only be done outside of battle. Cool. GitHub, what say you? Clean up usings. I actually changed 3 files in this commit. This is... Alright. So we changed this. So that is adding the registration. That is making those battle commands. Switch commands to non-battle commands. Yep, that seems correct. And then this one is creating the non-battle commands. Non-battle battle commands. Make some things non-battle commands. There we go. Let's give it a try. I'm going to get into a battle and we'll try those commands and hopefully get yelled at and told that we can't do them. Assuming I did it right. So there we go. Let's go ahead and trigger a battle. Yeah, you someone want to get bashed in the face? Barrett's flipping out. Yeah, something. Pointing guns and getting in combat. Alright, so we are now in a battle, which means things like cloud, weapon, weapon, cloud, good luck. Can only use weapon outside of combat. Nice. Armlet, cloud. Can only use armlet outside of combat. Accessory. Cloud. Can only use that. And can only use that outside of combat. Fantastic. Now menu can happen whatever you want, like Miha just demonstrated. So the menu command is totally usable at any point. You can change the colors of the menu, either random or selected colors, up to you. For armlet, you don't have to specify an amount. So, Geo, you can just... Okay. But now that combat is over... That should have just worked. Yep, that worked. Gill and all equipment should be gone now. Yep, that did it. Cool. Alright, so Pauper needs to cost a lot, obviously, but the feature definitely works. Switch back to the classic menu there. There we go. Okay, yeah, so right now it is locked down to just us. So that's good stuff. So that definitely works. Oh, next things we need to do on this is build a whole bunch of settings. So we need settings pages galore for all these various things. So many of these already have settings pages, but some of these features don't yet. So we will need to build all of those. But let me go ahead and click a few things. Oh man. Oh man, hang on. Yes, average guy. Don't you like the Pauper command? It's just evil. Whoops. I had to click that. Click this button. There we go. Huh. Okay, well, first off, a couple of things I want to make sure that I click here. Wait, that's not going to work. Can I cancel that? Good, I can cancel that. Hang on. Derp, derp, derp. Yeah, this died a while ago and I didn't restart it, but I will now. So first off, what? Are you kidding me? Well, that's funny. Badger Docs, welcome. Thanks for that raid. Yeah, average guy. Yeah, exactly. You learn a little bit of C# and a little bit of English on this stream. Badger Docs, welcome. Glad you like my stream. A lot of fun. And I noticed that we must have a mutual acquaintance since I recognize that emote that you're using. Yes, Pauper is actually a word, Miha. I didn't just make that up. That is a word. Yes, Pauper. Right here. A very poor person. So, hence why that is what it is. Badger's a new streaming coder. Oh, nice! That is awesome, Badger. Very good stuff. So welcome, Badger and friends. I will tell you a little bit about our stream here. I am a primarily C# streamer. I do a little bit of C#, a little bit of JavaScript. We do mostly .NET Core stuff here on the stream. We've done some casual game development in the past. We've done some coding on web applications. A good deal of that. We've written a chat bot that is actually the one that is here in our chat most of the time. And currently, we are working on a handful of projects. One of those is our Final Fantasy VII interaction that we've been doing here. And that's been kind of fun. So we are messing around with, memory inside of that game, and it lets us do all kinds of interactions to provide chat with the ability to interact with the game. So it's pretty fun. A couple of things I do want to link. I want to let everybody know if you are someone that is interested in chatting with other developers about programming stuff, DevChatter is not just this stream. It is a community of like-minded individuals, and by like-minded I mean we all agree that coding and software development is a cool and fun thing, and we want to encourage more people to do it, and we also want to work together on this stuff. So very fun stuff. Link in the chat to our Discord as well as down below. Many of our projects that we do on the stream, almost all of them, are open source projects. You can actually find our source code at github.com/devchatter, and you're welcome to take a look at the code, send us pull requests or anything like that, or following the licenses that are associated with each one, use the code. In addition, if you want to see archives of our videos here on the stream, you can actually check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/devchatter, and that has archives of, like, you know, about 200 videos, because we are, I don't even remember what stream number this is. It should say it in the stream description. And lastly, I'm going to put a link to my Twitter on there. Badger Docs, I apologize. The timing of your raid was not the best. But if anyone is in here and enjoyed any of our stream today, you thought any of the stuff we did was cool, and you look forward to seeing what other things we do, whether it be more of this application or some of our other ones, do feel free to give us a follow, as that is the best way to get notified when we go live. Those are an awesome amount of resources. Badger Docs, what are you talking about? Like 200 streams worth of video is actually kind of a cool thing. Let's go ahead and, oh, yeah, so sadly I don't have anybody in my list of people that I would normally raid live right now. I guess we can, you know what? We're going to raid someone. We're going to go over to a fun stream. So I'm going to run our credits, but then we're going to raid over. So do me a favor, everyone, stick around. You don't have to stay at the place that we raid forever. I just want you to follow us there and say hi when we get there. And if you want to hang out, cool. If you like what the streamer is doing that we're going to, that'd be awesome. But either way, at least stick with us just to say hi over in that other stream, and then you can take off if you want. It'd be really nice, because it's always fun to send that kind of stuff around. So, and thank you for that follow, Pixiedorf. Let me go ahead and run our credits, and while we do that, I will, whoops, let me close all the windows so we can actually see the credits. So I want to make sure that I thank our moderators for helping out with us today. So I want to thank S&B and Greendolf for hanging out and helping moderate the chat. I want to thank these wonderful people that followed us today, as well as Ed for subscribing to us a while ago. Please do say hi to Fierce Kittens when we get over there. I will be heading over with you. And she's doing some art stuff. She's also a programmer, by the way, and really awesome. So take care, everyone. Have a nice rest of your weekend. Happy coding, and I will see you all hopefully on Monday. Bye, everyone.
Commander Kittens, we are being raided.
No, I guess we need to raid
Permission to deploy the defense.
And DevChatter, because you guys are just like raiding the crap-a-doodle out of me. Okay, fine. We're gonna do the raid defense because reasons.